Right, okay. Today we're looking at something rather different. It's not digital, it's analog. So if you're an analog photographer, very likely you will come across Lomography, because they are kind of the only guys out there promoting or heavily promoting analog photography. I have been a long-term Lomographer, and in fact I'm actually one of the amigos in the UK, so I have been testing this stuff a lot, and I was fortunate enough to test one of their latest black and white film called the Berlin 400. It's actually a Kino Film based 35mm negatives, which is very awesome. And I have to tell you more about this simply because I don't usually make film reviews, to be quite honest, but this is actually quite special. When they asked me to test out the black and white film, of course I would say yes, because I love film photography. And I was kind of thinking, okay, that's another black and white film. It's more likely going to be a version or a variant of like some of the more mainstream black and white films, such as the Ilford HP series or maybe the XP series. And so I was thinking more in line with that, or like maybe even like something like Kodaks and something like that, like the Triaxis. And but to my surprise, you know, like after I shot and developed the films, I actually looked into it and said, oh my goodness, this is such a different film. It looks very pleasant. I don't know what word I should be using to describe it, but it looks very mellow. It's kind of like one of those very lovely vintage red wine, you know, and it just have that very organic and pleasant feel to the whole thing. And unlike some of the generic black and white film, which is very contrasty, this is quite mellow. It's kind of quite soft and gentle, so it's actually quite nice for, you know, if you're into like black and white portraiture, this will be it. I did test two rolls of the prototype Berlin 400 on Sali and Zoha in separate occasions, and the results came out perfect and very consistent, which is quite surprising for a prototype film, so I'm actually very impressed. But not only that, you know, compared to some of the black and white films that I usually shoot with, such as the Kodak Triax and also the Ilford HP and also XP, which is very different in nature. Triax is very high contrast, which is superb for high contrast black and white street scenes. I mean, I love that punchy look. I'm pretty sure in Triax is a very common thing for, you know, black and white film street photographers. And then the Ilford series, of course, they have many different variants and different versions, so depending on what sort of stuff you do, whether it's fine art, portraits, or just generic stuff, so they have many things to choose from. I would say the Lomography Berlin 400 is really aiming for that portrait film look, and because one thing I have to mention though, this is actually cut out from the 35 movie motion picture film negatives to make this thing, so it does have that kind of quality. So it's very organic, very soft. It is sharp and also maintaining all the skin tones and structures that you really want to see in the scene, basically. So it's really nice. And if you haven't tried one of these, I do suggest you to go Lomography or order online. I'll put the link down in the description to order a few of these rolls and see whether you can actually try it out, and let me know what you think about them, because it is really special. Like I said, I don't usually review negatives or films, and this is actually one film that I would like to do a shout out to, simply because it's actually pretty cool. And of course, I have to say thank you for Lomography for, you know, giving me a couple of these rolls to test out, and I was super impressed. And also thank you for choosing one of my photos for their newsletter, so people can see how this thing actually works and look in real life. So yeah, it's cool. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and by the way, if you are interested in what gear I used to shoot with Zali and Zohar, it was this. This is the very old Minolta Dynix 9 Ti, which is a very special version of the famous top of the range film camera back in the days. I love this beast, and if you want me to do a review on this thing, let me know in the comment, and I will try to do one with this thing. I want to get do a few more this analog stuff. If you guys are interested in this, also leave a comment down below, so I will try and expand the series and make it more analog a thing for you guys if you're into that. So anyway, remember to subscribe if you haven't already done so, and click on the bell button to stay notified so you know when our new video is coming out. So until next time, ciao ciao. And I have to thank Lomography as well, because they have used one of my photos in Zohar for on their newsletters, which is actually super awesome. So thank you, not Olympus. Thank you, Lomography. I still say Olympus. What's to say Olympus?